Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. According to Sport Build, Manchester United are interested in Leon Goretzka as a replacement if Paul Pogba leaves the club. Leon Goretzka plays for Bayern Munich. He's been at Bayern Munich for 4 seasons. He's made 112 appearances in all competitions. He's had some niggles at Bayern Munich. Leon Goretzka wants to extend his contract at Bayern Munich. His current contract expires next year. Says Bayern Munich are making no progress to commit Goretzka to a long-term deal. He is the age of 26, so he is in his prime. He's predominantly a box-to-box midfielder, but he can be deployed as a right winger and a defensive midfielder. His market value is around £63 million. Before Bayern Munich, he was at Schalke. And before then, he was at Bochum. Now, Paul Pogba, he could leave Manchester United. Paul Pogba recently had a bust-up with Adrien Rabiot. Paul Pogba scored a fantastic goal for France against Switzerland. France are no longer in the Euros. Switzerland beat them on penalties. But I thought Paul Pogba enjoyed a very, very good tournament. But I think Paul Pogba will be happy to stay at Man United as long as we match his ambitions. He said the other week that he has more freedom with France than at Man United. Mino Raiola is demanding £500,000 a week for his client to remain at Man United. Sky Sports News said that Man United are in ongoing talks with Pogba's representatives over a new contract. He said not so long ago that we want to make Pogba the Premier League's highest paid player with a new 5-year contract worth £104 million that equates to around £500,000 a week. Pogba's current contract expires next year because last season we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract. We figure that Pogba is running down his contract to leave on a 3, but Solskjaer hopes Pogba stays and signs a new contract. But we have been getting the best out of Pogba in recent months. He does bring creativity to the team. In quite a few games last season, we played him in an advanced role. He's much better in an advanced role than he is in a deeper role. At one point last season, Pogba was out with a thigh injury for a while. And he sustained some ankle injuries at Man United. I think we want around £72 million if we are to offload Pogba in this summer transfer window. A Paul Pogba swap deal is possible because obviously there has been talks of a Varane and Pogba swap deal and a Cristiano Ronaldo and Paul Pogba swap deal. Pogba's had a long running transfer saga. Obviously he's been linked with Real Madrid. He's been relentlessly linked with a return to Juventus. Pogba did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus before he rejoined us. PSG have been in for him. Not so long ago, Mini Oriola held talks with PSG's president and PSG stepped up their interest. It said PSG wants to partner Pogba with Wijnaldum in their midfield. Barcelona and Inter Milan have also been in for him before. Pogba's enjoyed 5 seasons at Man United. Since he rejoined, he's our most expensive signing at the moment because we paid £89 million for him. Mini Oriola has obviously been desperate to get his client out of the football club. Mini Oriola obviously did a lot of talking last season. Back in December last year, Mini Oriola made an announcement regarding Pogba and Solskjaer was furious with his agent's announcement because it was just before the game against RB Leipzig. He also criticised Ferguson last season, did Mini Oriola, for forcing Pogba out of the club when he was younger, and he said he doesn't give a fuck if he doesn't take another player to Man United as long as his clients are happy. And he also said last season that he had no intentions of destabilising his client's season. And he did make an admission saying that he was working quietly on Paul Pogba's transfer. And he also said last season that Pogba wants to win trophies at Man United or at another top European club. He said that his future was in doubt. Now, I want to delve into some more news on Cristiano Ronaldo. Fabrizio Romano has given us an update on Cristiano Ronaldo. He says that Cristiano Ronaldo is not negotiating a new contract with Juventus, and Ronaldo has a big decision to make this summer. Cristiano Ronaldo will decide on his future soon. Portugal are no longer in the Euros. Jorge Mendes is set for a transfer meeting with Cristiano Ronaldo. Juventus are looking to save around £75 million by offloading Ronaldo. But Ronaldo could make a return to Manchester United. Reports from Italy said a few weeks ago now, was it, that Man United offered Cristiano Ronaldo a 2-year contract worth £17 million a year. That equates to a week around £330,000. Solskjaer privately rates Cristiano Ronaldo as the best player he's ever played alongside, and the Glazers have already held talks with Jorge Mendes. Ronaldo is regarded as the best player in the world. He's won 32 major trophies in his playing career and he's won 5 Ballon d'Ors. Ronaldo's enjoyed 3 years at Juventus. His current contract expires next year. Juventus paid £100 million for him from Real Madrid back in 2018. Ronaldo enjoyed like 9 or 10 years with Real Madrid before he went to Juventus. We had him for 6 years. He was with us from 2003 to 2009. We paid just £12 million for him from Sporting Lisbon back in 2003. You know the news on Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund. Marcus Rashford denies confirming Sancho's move to Man United. He's deleted the post. Marcus Rashford said his Twitter account was hacked. But yesterday night, Marcus Rashford appeared to have confirmed Sancho's move to Man United. Man United's third offer of 77.5 million for Jadon Sancho has been accepted by Borussia Dortmund. The first offer was 72 million euros. The second offer was 78 million euros. That's stemming from the German outlet Sports 1. Sky Sports in Germany said the other day that Man United and Borussia Dortmund agreed a fee of 85 million euros for Sancho. Janis Fortoft said yesterday that Man United and Borussia Dortmund have almost agreed a deal for Sancho. He says 90 million euros is the likely fee to be agreed. Jadon Sancho is set to become the second highest paid player at Man United because we've offered him £350,000 a week. The Daily Telegraph said the other day that Man United are expected to formally agree a deal for Sancho this week. So yeah, the personal terms have been agreed. The agent fees have been agreed, a 5-year contract has been agreed, and an actual fee has been agreed. So Sancho now to Man United is more than close. Fabrizio Romano did recently say that Jadon Sancho's transfer to Man United is almost complete. He did mention that Liverpool were interested in Sancho in case one of their star players left. And The Athletic said that Man United were nearing an agreement for Sancho. Last week it said Jadon Sancho's medical is delayed. It's likely he will undergo his medical with Man United after England's involvement at Euro 2020. Not so long ago, Borussia Dortmund told us to pay a take it or leave it asking price of 77 million plus add-ons. Dortmund have made it clear that they want Jadon Sancho's future resolved before they begin their pre-season tour on the 23rd of July. So yeah, the Jadon Sancho transfer saga is nearly over, which is very good because it has been a long-running transfer saga. We've been in for Sancho now for like the last 2 years or so. But there's always been something in Sancho to Man United because it's been stemming from reliable journalists. You know, Fabrizio Romano's spoken a lot about the Sancho saga, and so too has Christian Falk from Bild. Dortmund lowered their asking price from what they was demanding last summer. Because last summer, Borussia Dortmund's valuation was £108 million and we was reluctant to meet that valuation. We was only willing to pay so much up front. But Sancho to Man United last summer was extremely close. Dortmund have identified the replacement for Sancho. They're looking at Daniel Malin from PSV. Sancho endured 4 years at Borussia Dortmund, scored 50 goals in 137 games. Had a contract with them till 2023, and Dortmund paid just £7 million for him from Man City, so Dortmund are making a huge profit on the player. I think Solskjaer said that he wants to make around 4 more signings when Sancho to Man United is official. Eduardo Camavinga, he could be the next signing after Sancho. Man U have got a good chance of getting Varane as well, because reports have said that Man United reach total agreement with Real Madrid over Raphael Varane. We could get Raphael Varane for, 45 million pounds, which is a bargain. But I'm expecting Man United to enjoy a very, very good summer transfer window, because I am very convinced that Solskjaer is going to get the players he wants to recommend in. And like I said to Solskjaer does deserve more backing at the club. Obviously the board did say they'll back Solskjaer with summer signings, plus a new 3-year contract, despite the Europa League final loss to Villarreal last season. Just before the summer transfer window opened, he said Solskjaer had been given a 150 million transfer budget to buy around 4 or 5 new players. Joe Glazer promised Man United fans that Solskjaer will get the funds that are available. He attended a fans forum on the 4th of June, which was obviously earlier on this month. His first attendance in 15-16 years. Solskjaer recently got told though there was no funds available for a centre defensive midfielder. Not so long ago, we got our financial results. Our debt risen up to like 443.5 million. Our debt continues to rise, so that is a concern. This summer transfer window is Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. Players are going to leave Man United in this summer transfer window, so reflecting on that, our transfer budget will increase. These very, very good players at Manchester United. These players that have really, really improved. Dean Henderson, he's a very, very good goalkeeper. He said not so long ago that Solskjaer has chosen Dean Henderson to be our number 1 goalkeeper next season. I can assure he's got a long-term future at the club. Henderson did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. His distribution was good. He kept a lot of clean sheets, made good saves, and he made some good aerial claims. Henderson had, 2 bad games last season. He wasn't good in the 3-1 win against Burnley, looked shaky off his line. He was poor in the 4-2 defeat to Liverpool. Made some errors in that game. But Henderson's got that experience behind him because he endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield, and he's had other loan spells before. And before the start of last season, Dean Henderson signed a 6-year contract with the club, so reflecting on that, he committed his future to Man United. Luke Shaw, he's really, really improved. Luke Shaw was our best player last season. He really, really was. He was the best left-back in the Premier League last season. And Luke Shaw's doing really, really well now for England in the Euros. Got an assist in England's 2-0 win against Germany. But in a lot of Luke Shaw's games last season, he showed very good attacking intent, got into good positions, created good chances, provided that width, and defensively was superb. Shaw still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Telles last year, and Shaw's had a good career at Man United despite his injuries. He's been with us now for like 7 years. Malik Telles now, I don't really have much of a perception on him because he's hardly played, but in some of the games he was involved in last season I thought he was consistent. Do you think Telles could leave Man United in this summer transfer window? He's only enjoyed one full season at the club, but when we got Telles last year, I expected him to be our first choice left back immediately. We got Telles in a deal worth 15.4 million with Porto. I think there was add-ons included. Eric Bailly, he's a very, very good centre half, but my element of concern about Eric Bailly is too injury prone, so in that aspect, he is a liability. Towards the end of last season, Eric Bailly signed a new contract with Man United until 2024. There's an option of a further year. But when Bailly plays well, he intercepts the ball well, he shows the ability to play out from the back and he's effective in the air. Bailly's been at the club now around 5 years or so. Got him from Villarreal back in 2016 for £30 million. I think Harry Maguire, he's a decent centre half as well. But it was a big miss towards the end of last season. Harry Maguire had ligament damage in his ankle. He sustained that injury in our 3-1 win against Aston Villa towards the end of last season. And we overpaid for Harry Maguire though. Got him in a deal worth £80 million from Leicester. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and the second most expensive signing at the club, just behind Pogba. I think Axel Tuanzebe is a decent player, but just doesn't get enough opportunities at Man United, so it would be beneficial to loan Tuanzebe out. The best game I recall Tuanzebe having was the PSG one. He was very, very good in that game. And Wan-Bissaka, very, very good right back. He's one of the best right backs we've had since Gary Neville. And Wan-Bissaka's got to show more attacking intent. That's what's letting him down at the moment. But there was some games last season where Bissaka got forward well. Defensively, he's always been superb. Bissaka's enjoyed 2 full seasons at Man United. Got him for £50 million from Palace back in the summer of 2019. Scott McTominay, he's a decent player as well. He's been part of the club for a long time. McTominay's not yet on that level where I want him to be at. Is he good enough to emulate that level where I want him to be at? Just after the first lockdown last year, McTominay signed a 5-year contract. His best game last season was a 6-2 win against Leeds because, McTominay made a difference in that game. He scored twice in the first 2-3 minutes. Paul Pogba, like I said, he's really, really improved. Bruno Fernandes, he's very, very good. He's made a difference in this team. In most of Bruno Fernandes' games, he's been very, very consistent. There's also been quite a few games though where he's looked off the pace, but we have overplayed Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes has been at Man United for like 17, 18 months now. One player of the year last season, and he's won player of the month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. Said towards the end of last season that Bruno Fernandes was set to sign a new contract on Man United worth £200,000 a week, so reflecting on that, he was willing to double his wages. Fernandes' current contract expires in 2025. There's an option of a further 12 months. We got Fernandes in a deal worth just over 67 million from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. He's our best player and he's probably the best signing we've made since Ferguson retired. Fernandes predominantly plays as a number 10. Mason Greenwood, he's been an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad. Despite going a long period without scoring, Greenwood made his senior debut in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7, so he's been with us a long time. And last season he signed a new 4-year contract. He deserved a new contract though, reflecting on his good performances. Sometimes we play Greenwood on the right and sometimes we play him centrally. but you seem to get the best out of him most of the time. Edinson Cavani, he's made a fantastic impact since he's come in, and I'm glad Cavani is staying for next season. Fabrizio Romano did say towards the end of last season that Cavani obviously signed a 1-year contract with Man United. Marcus Rashford, he's good as well when he wants to be, but there's aspects of his game that I've got to improve. Marcus Rashford was out of form towards the end of last season. He's enjoyed quite a few bad periods and he's become injury prone at Man United because he's sustained quite a few injuries now. What we've got to do is we've got to keep Marcus Rashford out on that left-hand side because that's where he's more effective. We played him on the right a few times last season and quite a few times we've played him centrally. He's produced some good performances though when he's played centrally at times. De Gea, I think he's a good goalkeeper, despite the mistakes he's made in the last couple of years. To be honest with you, I think De Gea is staying for next season because not so long ago De Gea said he's determined to win his place back, and he's not sulked since losing his spot to Dean Henderson. And he said he's convinced he'll stay at Man United and be Solskjaer's number one next season. De Gea's been long-serving at Man United. He's enjoyed 10 years at the club, and like I've said before, he's had around 8 good years out of the 10 years he's been with us. Some United fans still prefer De Gea over Henderson. Now, last season, De Gea produced his best performances after the Everton collapse in February, and to his credit, he responded well to Dean Henderson getting the number one role. So, there you go. But the players that could leave Man United in this summer transfer window is Martial. I think it's likely he's going to leave. Donny van de Beek, there's a good chance he's going to go. Matic, there's a chance he'll leave. Telles could. There's a good chance we're going to loan Brandon Williams out. I think Southampton want him. Phil Jones, we could offload him in this summer transfer window, like I mentioned, to Anzebe. It's looking likely he's going to be going. Diego Dalot's leaving. Andres Pereira, obviously looking to get... Alright, looking to get rid of him permanently. He's out on loan with Lazio at the moment. Pogba could possibly leave in this summer transfer window. Do you think Juan Mata could? Like I say, next season is going to be massive for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I think he's aware of that. Next season will be Solskjaer's third full season at Man United, because at the moment Solskjaer's enjoyed 2 full seasons and he's been in charge of the club for 30 months now, which is over 2 years. He's been permanent Manchester United manager for around 27 months, because in Solskjaer's first 3 months he was the interim manager. Did very well as the interim manager, so the club decided to give him the job permanently back in March 2019. I'd say next season Solskjaer's got to win a trophy if he is to remain Manchester United manager, because Solskjaer's not yet won a trophy and we haven't won a trophy since 2017. That's 4 years ago now, and that's nowhere near good enough to our standards. Ole has just under a year left on the current 3-year contract he signed when he got the job permanently back in March 2019. These United fans that are Ole in, there's also United fans that are Ole out. I'm Ole in at the moment. I think he does deserve next season, but I can assure he's not the long-term manager for Manchester United, and I think a lot of United fans will agree with me on that aspect. But the reason Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager is because he's a club legend. That's what's basically saved him. Disregarding being a club legend, I can almost assure he would have been sacked by now. But I've got to credit Solskjaer. I think he's done a good job. I didn't expect him to do as well as he has done, so in that aspect I am shocked. You've got to say he's done a good job to say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager. But Ole is our best manager since Ferguson. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.